one of the greatest sagas of Greek mythology, the story of the Trojan War, begins not on the battlefield but with a harmless event, the judgment of Paris. This was the moment that sparked a 10-year conflict, bringing gods and mortals together in a tale of honor, betrayal, and fate. From the divine quarrels of the Olympians, to the bravery of warriors like Achilles and Hector, this is the saga of the Trojan War. It all began at the wedding of Peleus, a mortal king, and Thetis, a sea nymph. All the gods were invited, except for one, Paris, the goddess of discord. Furious at being excluded, Eris crashed the wedding with a golden apple inscribed with the words "To the fairest." The apple would ignite a rivalry between three of the most powerful goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. To whom did it belong? Zeus, unwilling to make a decision between the three, tasked Paris, a young Trojan prince, to choose the fairest. Each goddess offered him a bribe. Hera promised power, Athena wisdom and victory in battle, and Aphrodite the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris chose Aphrodite, setting in motion the events that would lead to war, for the woman she promised him was Helen, queen of Sparta, already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta. Paris traveled to Sparta, and with Aphrodite's help, he and Helen fell in love. Together, they fled to Troy, leaving behind a furious Menelaus. This act of betrayal set Greece ablaze with anger. Menelaus called upon the Greek kings, bound by an oath to protect the king's marriage to Helen, to assemble their troops. And, thus began the march to Troy, led by Agamemnon, Achilles, Odysseus, and other mighty heroes. Soon, the Greeks arrived at the city of Troy, a fortified marvel ruled by King Priam. For 9 long years, the two sides fought, with neither gaining the upper hand. During this time, the gods themselves took sides. Apollo aided the Trojans, while Hera, Athena, and Poseidon supported the Greeks. The war's fiercest battles came down to 2 warriors, Achilles, the Greeks' most formidable fighter, and Hector, the noble prince of Troy. Hector fought bravely to defend his city, but when he killed Achilles' close friend, Patroclus, Achilles' rage became unstoppable. In a duel outside the walls of Troy, Achilles sought revenge. Hector stood alone before the gates of Troy as Achilles charged toward him. The clash was brutal, but Hector, despite his bravery, could not match Achilles' divine strength. After killing Hector, Achilles dishonored his body by dragging it behind his chariot. This was a turning point in the war. The loss of Hector was a huge blow to the Trojans. With Hector gone, the Greeks plotted their final move. It was Odysseus, known for his cunning, who devised the ultimate strategy, a massive wooden horse. The Greeks pretended to abandon the siege, leaving the horse as an offering to the gods. Inside, hidden Greek soldiers waited for nightfall. The Trojans, believing the war was over, brought the horse into the city. Under cover of darkness, the soldiers emerged from the horse and opened the city gates for the rest of their forces. Troy, once impregnable, fell in a single night. The city burned, its people were slaughtered and taken captive, and the mighty walls of Troy were reduced to ruins. The prophecy had come true. Troy was doomed. The Trojan War left a legacy of heroes and heartbreak, of gods and mortals connected through destiny. From Achilles' wrath to Hector's honor, from the love of Paris and Helen to the cunning of Odysseus, this saga continues to captivate, reminding us that even in the ancient world, war was bloody, calculative and glorious. The story of Troy may have ended, but its echoes can still be heard in stories of bravery, betrayal, and the human nature. Join me in the next chapter as we continue to dissect the Greek mythology, and as always, please subscribe.